Ever since rare coins captured the imagination of collectors, there's been one piece that stirs both nostalgia and intrigue, a coin whose story stretches beyond its metal. Let's dive into the intriguing narrative of a coin that hints at history and rarity in every detail, the 1997 US quarter. This isn't just any quarter. Its past, peculiar features, and the way it has evolved into a collector's gem have an almost cinematic quality that commands attention. The 1997 US quarter first hit the mints during a period when the nation was exploring innovative designs and subtle experimentations with coinage. Minted in an era when US coins were largely standardized, the story of this quarter stands out because it marks a subtle yet significant departure from an otherwise homogeneous production run. Its origin is tied to a curious period where mints were looking for ways to commemorate traditions without straying too far from familiar designs. In a sense, this coin is a bridge. It connects the mechanical precision of modern minting processes to the artistry of earlier, more handcrafted eras of US coinage. There's an almost unsung story of innovation behind the coin, as mint officials experimented with new dyes and production techniques, creating a limited run that ultimately ended up in the hands of a fortunate few. When you hold a 1997 US quarter, the first thing that catches the eye is its surprisingly crisp design, a blend of traditional elements and a modern twist. At first glance, it retains the classic portrait that many associate with US currency, but a closer inspection reveals minute details that set it apart. One of its most distinguishing features is a small, nearly imperceptible variation in the lettering and the fine details around the eagle's feathers. Some experts argue that the unique dye used in its production gives it a subtle glow under certain lighting conditions, a quality that many in the community have come to treasure. It isn't a glaring error or a bold deviation. Rather, it's a whisper of distinction that hints at a more complicated process behind its creation. To the untrained eye, it might appear as merely another coin circulating the economy, but to the experienced collector, these nuanced anomalies speak volumes. The market for the 1997 US quarter has seen significant fluctuations over the years, with current values reflecting both rarity and condition. In top-tier auctions where mint state coins have been showcased, it has fetched impressive sums that exceed standard face value by a substantial margin. Auction records have revealed prices that have steadily increased over the past decade, pointing to a growing interest among investors. In pristine condition, with no signs of wear from handling or circulation, these quarters can command prices that push collectors to think of them less as currency and more as artifacts of modern history. Collectors often cite that it's not merely the aesthetic appeal, but the inherent rarity combined with its fascinating production story that drives its value upward. This coin's narrative is peppered with interesting tales and anecdotes that have added to its mystique. One such story revolves around a prominent collector who discovered this very quarter unexpectedly in a long-forgotten coin box from his grandfather's collection. Rather than being a mere curiosity, the coin turned out to be one of the few pieces that bore the peculiar die characteristics mentioned earlier. This discovery, shared across collector circles, turned the coin into a symbol of serendipity and careful preservation. It wasn't just the monetary value that mattered. It was the story of legacy, preservation, and the ever-present element of chance in the realm of coin collecting. Many collectors have echoed similar experiences, moments when they stumbled upon such extraordinary specimens tucked away in the recesses of old boxes or collections, each with its own narrative that defies simple explanation. Discussions at coin clubs and among seasoned enthusiasts often touch on the delicate balance between a coin's condition and its market value. The 1997 US quarter, in particular, is a textbook example of how condition dramatically affects worth. When in mint state, free from any blemishes, scratches, or signs of circulation, the coin's value is magnified exponentially. A coin that has been well preserved, which retains all its original luster and fine details, can be a coveted piece in any collection. In contrast, if the coin shows marks of wear or circulation, no matter how slight, it tends to fetch significantly lower prices. This dynamic has led many collectors to obsess over proper storage, handling, and even specialized display solutions designed to maintain the coin's original condition. It's a testament to the fact that in the world of coin collecting, every detail counts. What sets this quarter apart isn't only the meticulous design or its storied origin, but the passion it ignites in seasoned collectors. With a rich history embedded in its metal, the coin serves as a tangible connection to the innovations and experiments of the past. As technology marches forward and newer coin series take center stage, the 1997 US quarter remains a prized relic, a reminder that sometimes the most subtle imperfections are what make an object truly extraordinary. Conversations about this coin often transition into debates about which factors should weigh more heavily when assessing a coin's value: its historical context, the rarity of its minting process, or the level of precision in its current presentation. Such debates enrich the coin collecting community, reinforcing the idea that collecting is as much an art as it is a science. Moreover, the significance of the 1997 coin is not just confined to its physical qualities. It also encapsulates the broader story of evolving minting practices in the late 20th century. As collectors pore over the fine intricacies, they're also engaging with a piece of the transition from old-school minting to a more digitized, automated process. This particular quarter, with its elegant balance between uniformity and unexpected quirks, represents a period when tradition met modernity. That subtle meeting point gives it an almost legendary status among collectors who are always on the lookout for coins that symbolize pivotal moments in the evolution of American coinage. Beyond the auction houses and coin shows, the allure of this coin is also bolstered by the community's passion for sharing knowledge and discoveries. Many dedicated forums and online groups are abuzz with discussions around the 1997 US quarter's unique characteristics. Enthusiasts exchange tips on identifying the rare die variations, trade stories of how they acquired their specimens, and occasionally, even debate the finer points of its condition grading. These exchanges not only highlight the coin's intrinsic value, but also build a sense of camaraderie and mutual respect among collectors, a sentiment that is, in itself, invaluable in a hobby defined by passion and dedication. All these elements weave together to form the rich tapestry of interest that the 1997 US quarter commands. Its subtle yet distinctive features, combined with a legacy of thoughtful production and a vibrant community of enthusiasts, ensure that it remains a fascinating subject of discussion, admiration, and investment. Whether you're a seasoned veteran of the coin collecting world or someone who has recently discovered the allure of rare pieces, this quarter offers a glimpse into a tradition where history and artistry coexist in small but powerful ways. Following the remarkable journey of the previous coin, there's another piece that carries its own legacy of state pride and intriguing history. A coin that truly tells a unique story: the Alabama U.S. state quarter dollar. This coin emerges from an era when the country sought to honor its individual states, transforming simple circulation pieces into commemorative artifacts that encapsulate regional heritage. Its story begins amid a nationwide initiative that celebrated the distinct identities and cultural narratives of American states, with Alabama standing out through this distinctive piece. Minted during a period when the United States turned its attention to state identities, the Alabama quarter was designed to capture both a sense of local pride and a broader national celebration of diversity. The coin was released as part of the 50 State Quarters program, an ambitious project launched by the U.S. Mint that sought to spotlight the unique stories behind each state's contributions to the country's tapestry. Alabama's offering in this series wasn't just another piece of metal. It was meant to encapsulate the rich cultural and historical experiences that define the state. The design was carefully curated by artists and historians who worked in tandem to ensure that every element, from the intricate details on the state's emblem to the symbolic motifs representing its natural beauty and historic legacy, echoed Alabama's proud narrative. One of the most notable aspects of this quarter is how it seamlessly blends regional symbols with a design that remains unmistakably American. The front side of the coin exhibits a portrait of iconic imagery representing Alabama's heritage, while the back is adorned with state-specific details that resonate strongly with collectors. Look closely, and you'll notice a refined craftsmanship that distinguishes this quarter from others in the series. Subtle engraving techniques bring out elements such as the state's distinctive flora and fauna, and even small typographic flourishes serve as a nod to an era that valued both form and function. What makes the coin all the more collectible is how these minute features reflect an integration of artistic expression and technical precision, qualities that have become synonymous with great U.S. coinage. In the realm of market value, the Alabama quarter holds a special place. Auction records and market observations reveal that this coin, especially when found in pristine condition, commands significant premiums over its face value. High-grade specimens have been the subject of bidding wars at renowned coin auctions, sometimes fetching prices several times their nominal worth. Collectors have observed that coins with a well-preserved finish, a quality that reflects minimal handling and careful storage, are highly sought after. Over time, the rarity factor has increased, particularly as the coins have aged and fewer specimens remain uncirculated. The market trends clearly demonstrate that while all coins in the 50-state quarters program are celebrated, the Alabama issue has carved out a niche among enthusiasts who value both its artistic design and its representation of state history. This particular quarter has not only spurred financial interest, but also inspired a number of compelling stories among collectors. One popular anecdote involves a longtime collector who, during a casual discussion at a regional coin club meeting, mentioned that the Alabama quarter had been a centerpiece in his collection for decades. The story went on to reveal that his coin, which had been inherited from a relative who had a deep connection to Alabama, was treasured not just because of its rarity, but also because it was a tangible reminder of personal history and familial heritage. This narrative resonated with many in the collecting community, as it highlights how the coin transcends mere currency to become a vessel of personal and collective memory. Such stories are common among collectors who appreciate that every coin has a life story, a series of events, relationships, and cultural moments that imbue it with meaning far beyond its metal composition. The appeal of the Alabama quarter is further accentuated by discussions around condition and grading. Much like its counterparts, the coin's value is exponentially influenced by its state of preservation. A specimen that remains in mint condition, retaining its crisp edges and vibrant design without any evident wear, is highly prized and often auctioned for a premium. On the other hand, a coin that has been circulated and displays even minor signs of handling or environmental wear sees a marked drop in market appeal. This disparity emphasizes a recurring theme in coin collecting: the interplay between historical value and condition-based valuation. Collectors know that a single piece in perfect condition can, at times, tell the story of a meticulous preservation effort, adding an additional layer of allure to its already impressive provenance. Beyond the technical and historical merits of the coin, its emotional resonance adds another dimension to its allure. Many collectors find that the Alabama quarter encapsulates a broader narrative about states' rights, regional identity, and the evolution of the American cultural landscape. This coin has been featured in numerous collector magazines, where it is often described as a symbol of regional pride and a tribute to Alabama's rich historical tapestry. Its design elements not only echo the state's history, but also invite reflection on how local identities can influence national narratives. The coin's journey from mass production to a coveted collectible is a microcosm of a larger phenomenon in which ordinary objects gain extraordinary significance through shared cultural values and collective memory. Another fascinating aspect is how the Alabama quarter functions as both a piece of everyday currency and a distinguished piece of art. Initially released for general circulation, its unique design elements meant that it was more than just a tool for transactions. It was an invitation to explore and appreciate the nuance of regional design. Over time, as coins like this one became rarer in everyday circulation, they gradually assumed a different role as collectible art objects. This dual nature is part of what makes the Alabama quarter particularly intriguing. It serves as a reminder of a time when coins were not merely utilitarian objects, but were also crafted to reflect the soul of a state. In many collectors' discussions, this inherent balance between functionality and artistry is frequently cited as a primary reason for the coin's enduring appeal. Market dynamics continue to evolve for this coin, with a growing number of collectors and investors actively seeking high-grade specimens. Auction results underscore that a coin in pristine, uncirculated condition is a true gem. However, even coins that have seen moderate circulation retain considerable intrinsic value. especially when accompanied by documented grading reports from reputable coin grading services. The detailed grading process, which evaluates elements such as luster, strike quality, and overall state, further solidifies the coin's standing among both collectors and monetary historians. Every minor detail, from the depth of the relief work to the sharpness of its inscriptions, contributes to a coin's narrative and, by extension, its market performance. In the broader context of American coinage, the Alabama quarter stands as a reminder of how each state can contribute its own story to the national narrative. It embodies the intersection of artistry, historical pride, and the relentless passion that drives collectors to seek out coins that tell a story, each flaw and each perfect detail acting as a chapter in an ongoing saga. With every careful examination, every discussion around its unique features, and every bid in an auction, the coin not only appreciates in value, but also in the collective memory of those who understand that the beauty of coin collecting lies in its ability to preserve the past for future generations.